Hello, my beautiful, beautiful Virgos. I love you guys so much. You guys know you guys are my family. I am a Leo Virgo sun cusp, and I'm also a Virgo moon, so I love being around Virgos. They really get me back on my shit, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling very happy. I'm feeling actually very lovey-dovey, so maybe there's some romantic things to come in this reading. This is going to be for your January 4th all the way to January 31st. So yeah. So this is your card, so you can kind of get a little bit of your energy going. It's a beautiful card for a beautiful sign. So let's go ahead and see what's happening in the beginning of your January, starting with the 4th and yeah, the beginning. So let's go ahead and see. I've already shuffled. I'm just going to go ahead and see what comes out. Not shuffled. I've already cleared the cards. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle so that I can see what comes out. I'm feeling very happy. There's probably some really good things coming for you guys, Virgo. I'm super excited. I feel very joyful. Virgo, I just got the chills. I feel like people are finally starting to see the light. I think people are in very good shape right now, mentally. And I feel like there may be some love on the way. Let's see what's developing. There we go. We got the first two cards out. They flew out, actually. Alrighty. So, this is actually kind of backwards from what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling. But we're starting off with the Three of Swords here, okay? So this could have meant that January in the beginning days of it, maybe there was some heartbreak, some disappointment, a rough patch, a rough start, I would say, but it's not something that's holding you back. I feel like the energy of 2019, I know it sounds cheesy, but I really feel like you're starting to want to make decisions for yourself. You're really starting to feel that 2019 energy, and you're starting to think for self and not for the person that you want to help anymore. You're done with doing it. I think that this betrayal or disappointment that happened with this Three of Swords situation, it could have already happened, or it could just have happened literally just on the January 4th. I feel like it caused you to break free from the mental chains. There was something that sparked. There was something that made more sense, and it got you thinking, what the hell am I doing? Why am I sitting here taking any shit from anyone? Why am I sitting here not making moves for myself that benefit me? Why am I not using my brain in the way that I'm supposed to? I feel like there was lots of situations of just mental thoughts, mental racing for some of you, or just loops of things that you just can't shake. And maybe some things that you can't necessarily talk to anyone about. Maybe some things that you don't feel are even rational at times, but I feel like you are like, but they're still here. They're still my thoughts, and they're still not going away. But I feel like now you have a sense of direction. Now you have a sense of knowing, okay, I need to do something different. Okay, this has to change. I have to change. There was a realization, a really big realization, and I think it stemmed from some form of disappointment or betrayal, or, you know, something maybe even devastating for some of you. But it really put things into perspective, and I feel like it's making you stronger mentally, and I love to see that for Virgos. So, we then move to the Knave of Swords here. And so this is a situation where you're really being thoughtful about what's going on, and it may not be thoughtful for other people. This could just be you really evaluating what's going on in your life. You really evaluating, we have three cards that fell out. You're evaluating the past hurt, the things that you need to let go of. You're evaluating this love relationship. For some of you, it could be your life that you're evaluating, just looking back at all the moments, all the good times, all the bad times, and also looking at what is really morally foundation for you. What is really the stable thing that makes you an earth sign? What is that fuels you? What is that domestic life that you crave? What is that? For any Virgo, it can be something totally different. But the energy that I'm feeling is you're finally putting yourself in a situation and being like, okay, I need to look at things from a perspective that is going to benefit me for once. Instead of thinking about other situations and thinking about the hurt, thinking about what you did wrong in that situation, thinking about the person who was also involved in that situation, you're finally sitting back and making decisions for yourself. And I don't feel like it's an overwhelming energy, but I feel like it's a sense of just like the lights just clicked for you. There's a sense of just understanding. It could be that because we are in Capricorn season and that is your sister sign, being that it is an earth sign, maybe you're just understanding and putting things back into structure the way that makes sense. And being that the energy is moving more in that direction for, you know, earth-like energy, maybe it's just making sense for you and it just makes sense. And for some of you, it could just be like a light bulb went off in your head and you're like, okay, what can I do? And then for some of you, it's just like, okay, I'm done thinking about other people. This is what I'm going to do. Without even thinking about the rest, you have already made your decision. Judgment card is here. So the decision that has been made for some of you could be something that you don't want to do. For some of you, you have these realizations, but you still go back to the same cycle that you were trying to end, or the same situation that you knew that you needed to walk away from. So let's see what comes out. Why is the decision? Or it could also be a situation where the decision is for the other person to decide. Being that the situation that is set up, it's more of a sense of, I've made my decision, you have to do your work now. And so it could be that you have nothing to do with what the other person wants, what they understand about how you feel. You don't care anymore. You're in a situation where you're feeling more confident and you're going to beat the odds no matter what. You have this new sense of will. You have even a sense of creativity to your logic. Things are making sense, and things are, you know, the things that don't make sense, you're ready to get rid of. You're thinking things that are more logical level. You're not thinking about them. You're not adding you're not adding your emotions to it. You're just thinking logically. And I think it's really, really benefiting you in this time. For some people, this can mean that you have to be a little detached or distant from certain people. But for some Virgos, that is exactly what you're going to have to do in the first place, because a lot of Virgos have just been around the situation at hand. And just literally being close to it is dragging you down. For some of you, it's as simple as just physically moving away from it. And I think that this logic energy that you're going into, this more structured, what do I want? Logically, what works for me? I think it's really going to help you beat the odds and beat the obstacles that are in your way. Even if you feel like you don't have any means to actually fight it off, you have the willpower, and that is what's really fueling you. As also with the memories and the thoughts that you've been having, things are starting to make sense. Put it plain as that. Things are making sense, and when things make sense for Virgo, that means they figure something out, and that means they can make better decisions, you know? So let's go ahead and move to the middle of your January. There we go. One card out. Uh-oh. Saw this one flipped over. Alrighty. So we have the Knave of Swords in reverse. The Knave of Wands in reverse. So this is a situation where someone's moving a little too fast, making decisions physically that don't necessarily have the best interest for them in the future. Or someone's making a decision that the consequences could come back and bite them in the ass, so to speak. This could be dealing with an Aries. This could be an Aries in your life, or this could just be something new that you're trying out. And maybe you don't think things all the way through because it's a new situation. And it could, you know, bounce back and hit you in the face. So be very aware and make sure you're being logical about the steps you're making. Logic is of the essence during this January for you, okay? We need to be thinking logistics. We need to be thinking of analyzing. We need to be using that logical side, that Mercury that you have within you. You need to start putting things into motion. You need to start putting calculations into motion. And you need to start seeing what makes sense. Take sorry, you guys. I'm getting a little overworked. But it's like this momentum of, you need to take the machine apart, figure out what went wrong, and then put that thing back together so that you can get to going. You can start, you know, doing what you need to do. All you need to do as a Virgo is figure out what went wrong. You are already at that moment, but you have to figure out what can you do next now. What's the next step that I need to take? Everything is step by step for Virgo. So understand that no matter what you're going through, no matter how long it's been going on, you're still in the same step until you make a new one. And so as long as you realize that you have to just make a new step for yourself, Virgo, and make sure that it's a step that's going to be solid for you and it's going to make sense for you, you're going to be fine. You'll be able to move on and do what you need to do as a person, whether it's dealing with a love relationship, whether it's dealing with friendships, whether it's dealing with yourself and your confidence. You just have to think of what's the next best step that I can take, and how can I pursue this and execute this with a sense of self and a sense of benefits and a sense of angelic just being yourself is what being a Virgo is all about, but in a way that helps you. It will trickle down and help so many other people without you even trying. It's when you try to overhelp that things start going crazy and you don't think for yourself. Okay, so we move to the Four of Swords in reverse. So again, with this mental energy, you are definitely at a time where you're starting to feel this energy pick up, and you're starting to see, okay, there's something I need to do different. Maybe it's time to stop thinking and just start doing. And even if it's not about physically doing something, you're finally at a point where you're turning the tables. You're realizing you don't need to just sit back and rest. You need to get up and do something about it, whether it's mentally or physically. It's time for you to just make a change. And I think you'll start to feel that. It's not even something that has to be pushed on you. You'll just start to feel that energy of, okay, it's time to change things up for yourself. For some of you, this could involve getting away from a manipulative person or just a manipulative way of thinking that's slowing you down. It's all mental for you this month, okay? Everything is mental. Everything is all about yourself and what are you appreciating? What do you enjoy? If you can't figure out what's going on in your life that is messing you up, maybe think about the things that are changed for you. Maybe think about the things that you used to like to do, or the things that aggravate you now. Figure out if that's the same things that were aggravating you. Figure out where the missing thing is. As a Virgo, you're set up to understand patterns. So figure out where the pattern messes up. Figure out what missing piece is missing, and that will lead you into your next step. Everything is step by step, so you just need to remember that, step by step. Six of Cups in reverse. There could be an ex coming back, or some bad memories that you're having, whether it's with an ex or with just someone in your past coming back up. Let's see what this is dealing with. There you go. For some of you, this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But this could also just be you understanding your feelings from the past, and that can also make it to where logically and mentally you're able to succeed because you understand emotionally what was happening and what went wrong. So for some of you, the mentality is going to be able to be fixed once you figure out what happened wrong, emotionally. And this can be any aspect of any emotional relationship in your life. It does not have to be romantic. But there's a sense of a past situation, a past memory that could have been nostalgic at one point, but it's coming back. And I think you may just have a flashback and be like, oh my gosh, everything makes sense after that. So it's a sense of just understanding emotionally what happened and what went wrong, and then gaining strength from that, and then that making your mentality just much stronger in general. And also making it to where you're more optimistic and you're confident in your emotions and your emotional self. And I think that's really, really important, because I feel like a lot of this mental energy that's happening, a lot of this mental distraction that's been happening for Virgo is rooted in an emotional seed, whether it's from childhood issues or an ex, or just fears and phobias of things that you don't even understand why you have them. They're starting to come up to the surface, and if you allow this, and if you really pay attention to how the pattern started to mess up or where it started to mess up, you're going to be able to stop that manipulating voice or stop that manipulative person that is putting these thoughts in your head, whether it's you, another person, your own demons, any of that. You're going to be able to pinpoint how to stop it. It may not be you necessarily pinpoint the person, but you can be able to stop this voice, stop this endless cycle, this endless pattern of irrational decision making and irrational thinking. And I think it's going to be such a relief for you to really be able to experience that. Okay, so we're going to move into the end of your January. Let's see what's popping up for you guys at the end of January for Virgo. There we go. First card out. Alrighty, so we have the Two of Swords here. So this is a time of definitely shutting the world out and being with your thoughts, but also being able to defend yourself and feel... It's almost like going to war with yourself, but having a blindfold on. But when I say going to war, I mean mentally going into the depths of your mind and feeling confident enough to be able to come out and be able to communicate what you need to communicate, either with yourself or to someone else, effectively, and kind of communicate with the precision of the sword, being able to slice through what you need to slice through, get to the root of it, and say the things that may be hard to think about, may be hard to remember, may be hard to sit with and find truth in. You have like this personal type of therapy session with yourself. This could be a meditative state for a lot of you. Maybe it's just a meditation session that you have, and it makes sense. This could also just be you sitting with yourself and really looking at your life. Again, this is a time where it may be really difficult for some of you to do this because it may bring up a lot of painful things, or maybe just things that just don't make sense and you just don't want to deal with not understanding why things are not making sense. But I promise you, if you do this, it will be uncomfortable. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse here. It will be uncomfortable for a lot of you, but it will provide so much spiritual healing, and you'll probably, depending on how spiritual you are, you'll be able to pull and almost receive a message from any deity that you believe, or any sense of source, or the universe, whatever you listen to, whatever you get your guidance from. It will help you spiritually to heal. And at the end of the day, that is what needs to be done. No matter what type of issues you're going through, if you spiritually heal yourself, you're taking it from the roots. You're taking the issue from the roots and resolving it, starting it over, starting refreshed. And that's really what we want as Virgos, right? This is what you want to manifest for yourself. You're ready for a renewal. I feel it. It's just all at the very end of the war. That's the toughest part of it, because you don't know that it's about to be over, for one. But for two, it's like sometimes those are the moments where you feel like, I can't go anymore, I can't do this anymore. And those are the toughest moments, because you have to mentally push yourself through. And so with this being said, all of this uncomfortability that you're feeling, maybe feeling a little weak for needing help, whether it's from a person or sitting down and just praying or just crying and getting out and expressing what you need and getting it out there into the universe, as soon as you do it, I feel like the weight will be lifted, for one. But for two, you'll finally be able to triumph yourself and feel a little bit more alive, because you're really finally reaching and using your power as a Virgo to fix and analyze what's going on with you. And at the end of the day, when you fix you, everything around you will fix itself. You understand what I'm saying? Your world will be balanced. It says it right here. Your world will fall back into place. But it starts with you, Virgo. We move into the Temperance card in reverse. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of thinking about things that don't fit your lifestyle anymore, or things that don't benefit you in life, things that are just not for your soul's purpose anymore. After this meditation session, that's what I'm going to call it, I feel like you start to see things more clear, just, clear as day. And you are making decisions on what needs to go and what needs to stay. We have Virgo here in reverse. So instead of having this knowledge and keeping it within yourself as a hermit, once you have this knowledge, it's time for you to really execute it and use the power that you felt and learned and received, and move those things out of the way. It is not going to be easy. This is going to be you having to express yourself as a Virgo, and you really having to take your innermost feelings and push them outwards so that your outside reflects your insides. And that's going to be probably the hardest part for you. But for some of you, once you've had this spiritual meditation session, or whatever you want to call it, as soon as you do that, everything else won't matter, because it all makes sense to you. And so that's the only person it's going to have to make sense to is yourself. And at the end of the day, that's what we need. You need to change for yourself. You need to express what you're feeling on the inside and make your outside reality match your inside reality. And that is the true meaning of universe. Okay? We end off with the Queen of Wands. I love seeing this card. Queen of Wands, this is really a feminine energy, creative, inspiration, the desire to create, the desire to have inspiration for the future, the desire to create something that's going to be bigger than you can even imagine in the future. But this is also coming to yourself and kind of having like this come to Jesus moment, and realizing the true leadership and realizing your own power within yourself. And sometimes that takes a lifetime to understand, and for some people, they're just born with it. No matter what this means for you, this is a time where you're going to feel birth. You're going to feel the growth of just changing as a person from the inside out. As you can see on this card here, in the back, there's flowers that are blooming, and it looks as though, she's in the desert, or it's somewhere where things can't grow. But there's newfound opportunities everywhere you look. There's new stable foundations that can be built on and built and just built up. Like things are just growing. I just see like a garden just blooming with different flowers and different colors, different shapes, different types, all these opportunities, but they are for you because you created this reality for yourself. This is all you had to do. And yes, it may be the hardest thing you may have to do for some of you, but this is all you have to do to start. And once you are on that path to starting, there's nothing else that can stop you. Every part of land that you place your foot on, there's going to be more flowers to be around you, to surround you, to show you, to be physical proof of you are starting your new life. You were starting your new path. You were starting to really gather what it means to have that earth-like energy and create and to be around nature and to be around things that are in the constant cycle of life. You know what I'm saying? Nature. And it's going to be a reflection of you. And so the more you're in touch with that, the more empowered you will feel within yourself. And that is the true beauty of what this whole month is going to be about. But I feel like it's going to be a very, very pivotal moment for you for many, many months to come. And I feel like it's just going to be a very beautiful moment. Wow. I really feel like this is going to be a time for you to really, really feel the power within yourself and to really feel validated no matter what. No matter what. No matter what you've been going through, no matter what there is for you to go through in the future, you know that there's a sense of magic to what you can do. You realize that every choice that you make, everything in your life, you brought on yourself. And there's a way to get out of it. There's a way to change it. You just have to be willing to take that jump. But remember, step by step is what's going to get you through this month and throughout your life, honestly. But throughout this month, for sure, take everything step by step. What is the next best step for me as a Virgo? That's what you need to ask yourself. Analyze the situation, but allow things to happen and think logically. That is what we're doing throughout this January, Virgo. And it's going to be amazing if you follow the energies, if you follow what you feel, if you follow the sense, the urges to have that meditative moment. It may pop up out of nowhere, but I promise you, once you really tap in, the things that you don't want, they're going to be gone because you can't help but to get rid of them. And that's going to be so freeing for you that I feel like you're going to feel like, what took me so long to see this? What took me so long to do this? And that's what we're striving for. So if you need any help or direction in going through these tough times or times where you need to make a decision, you need a little bit more guidance on what's going on in the energies around you, or if you're trying to plan and see what you need to do so you can maximize your benefits, go ahead and hit me up at lovefromaleoa@gmail.com and we can definitely get a reading going for you. I'm super excited for you guys this January. Seriously, this is an amazing, amazing reading. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope it resonated with you on a deep personal level. I definitely think this is going to be a transformative month for you, and I can't wait to see what's to come for Virgo. So yeah, please leave a like, a comment, or you can share this video. It helps me out so much, and I really do appreciate you guys interacting with me on this channel. And yeah, until next time, Virgo, I will see you very, very soon.